The Tascam FR-AV2 is one of the most full-featured compact audio recorders that I've ever used. And if you are looking for a 32-bit float audio recorder that you can plug into virtually any soundboard or microphone and that supports virtually any kind of timecode, I think this recorder is an absolutely stellar choice. Spoiler out of the way for how I feel about this thing because I respect your time. Hey, I'm Matt Johnson, and in this video I'm going to be reviewing this recorder from the perspective of a wedding and professional filmmaker, because half of your time recording audio at a wedding is going to be spent plugging into the soundboard for a ceremony or reception with an audio recorder like this. Also, for the sake of ethics, I want you to know this video is not paid or sponsored by Tascam, but they did send me this recorder earlier so I could make this review in time for when it launched. Looking at the FR-AV2 now, as you can see, it's quite small. It can fit in your hand, and on top you have this really big, very nice color screen, which is not a touch screen, but that's fine because this recorder has plenty of buttons and it's relatively simple to use. I don't feel like it has any need for a touchscreen. You have a record button, play buttons, a row of function buttons that lets you change menu settings, etc. Like I said, plenty of buttons. I also do like that the plastic is slightly raised next to the record button, which makes it really easy to tell that you're about to press it. On the side now, is this the side? Yeah, we'll call this the side. The first thing I want to draw your attention to is the two locking combo XLR and 1/4-inch jacks. Yes, it is so great to see combo jacks on a recorder of this size, especially considering that with Tascam's earlier compact recorder, the X6, that recorder only had XLR. There was no 1/4-inch cable support. And if you're wondering why the heck you would want both XLR and 1/4-inch compatibility in your recorder, this not only makes the FR-AV2 more versatile overall because it's compatible with more types of cables. If you happen to be filming a wedding in particular, the odds are that you're going to need to either have an XLR or 1/4-inch cable, so it's great to see that both types of cables are supported with this recorder. Side note, by the way, if you want an amazing set of cables, you need to check out my audio cable pack that I made in collaboration with my friends at Condor Blue. There's an XLR to XLR cable, XLR to 1/4-inch cable, and an XLR to RCA cable for plugging into virtually any soundboard. And there's also this very convenient carrying pouch that's going to help you keep all of your cables organized. You can buy these cables all together as a pack or buy them completely separately if you want to. I'll link to these audio cables down below. Anyways, really nice XLR and 1/4-inch combo jacks out of the way. And looking at the back of the recorder now, notice that you have a 1/4-inch screw mount, but you also have two slots on the back where you can strap this recorder if you wanted to, say, attach it to a boom pole or a speaker, etc. This is a really nice touch. Pop open the battery door now, and this is where things get even more interesting because even though this recorder is quite compact, it still takes 3 AA batteries. Remember though, it has that color screen on the front, so it's not exactly a surprise that it requires 3 batteries to power it. Tascam says that the battery life with lithium batteries is expected to be approximately 15 hours with the phantom power turned off and 10 hours with it turned on. So when I tested this, throwing in a set of 3 lithium batteries, which I always recommend using lithium if you want the longest battery life, I found that the batteries lasted for 10 hours and 54 minutes, almost 11 hours, while recording in 32-bit float at 48 kilohertz with phantom power enabled. I think this is quite solid, and if you're not going to be using phantom power, like say plugging into a soundboard, in that case you can probably expect 15 plus hours of recording, just like Tascam says. I also want you to know too that there is an auto power save setting in the menu, as well as a power save mode that you can enable, and whenever you do this, it's going to disable recording at any higher kilohertz than 48,000, which should in theory give you longer battery life. Moving on to the other side of the recorder now, I don't know which side we're on, you have the sliding power switch, a USB Type-C port that will not only power the recorder, but also allow it to be used as a USB audio interface, and a micro SD card slot, which has a really nice cover over it. I always love how Tascam does their covers. This is great, very protective. Take note, Zoom, you can do better like Tascam, okay? Anyways, this recorder can take memory cards up to 512 gigabytes in size, which is massive and means that you can record for many days with this thing, as long as you have power. On the top, you have a slot where you can insert Tascam's AK-BT2 Bluetooth adapter. Yes, I said BT2 because this is an updated adapter from their BT1. And what makes this one different is that it not only lets you wirelessly control up to 5 of these AV2 audio recorders and synchronize them using timecode over Bluetooth, but it will also enable you to wirelessly monitor your audio over Bluetooth too. But hold up, because this is where things get weird. Unlike other devices that let lets you monitor your audio wirelessly using an app. With the FR-AV2, you need to actually connect a set of Bluetooth headphones to the device in the menu of the recorder. Then you can monitor the audio over Bluetooth as you are recording. There's unfortunately no way to do this in the app itself, but I think that this is mostly due to Tascam not wanting to be sued by a company called Tascam that currently holds a patent on wirelessly monitoring audio from an external recorder. Anyways, my recommendation to you is to purchase a cheap, dedicated set of Bluetooth headphones that you can pair to your FR-AV2 and always have them connected. This should be the easiest way to monitor your audio, and while it is a bit more complicated to set up than using an app, I still really do appreciate that wireless audio monitoring is supported with this device. Moving down to the bottom of the recorder now, I think this is the last side that we've not talked about, and I'll be honest, I've saved the best for last because there's actually a really cool feature that Tascam has added to this recorder that has not been in their previous recorders, like even the X8. Here on the bottom, you have a red recording light that will tell you if the recorder is recording, which, spoiler, this one is. You're also going to see there's two peaking lights that will blink if the audio is peaking, but hey, even if you see some peaking lights, we're recording 32-bit float audio, so that doesn't matter. You also have a headphone jack where you can monitor your audio and adjust the volume with these buttons here. And then here's where things get really interesting. Because this recorder has both a 3.5 millimeter input, where you can plug in something like a lav mic or connect the recorder to a camera's headphone jack, as well as a 3.5 millimeter line output, where you can run the audio out from this recorder to another device. But that's not new. Pretty much all recorders have had that. Notice the other text here though, TC in and TC out. And this is really cool because TC stands for time code, and that means that the FR-AV2 is one of the first Tascam 32-bit float audio recorders that not only supports time code over Bluetooth using their Bluetooth adapter and Atomos UltraSync systems, but it also has even more versatility because it supports linear time code in and out, which means that you can very easily use it with something like the much-loved Deity TC1 timecode devices as well. Simply plug in your timecode device, go to the timecode menu in the settings, and choose whether you want the AV2 to be the timecode generator or receiver, and timecode just works, guaranteeing all of your devices are synced up. This is so great to see because for so long with other Tascam recorders, Bluetooth timecode using Atomos devices was the only choice. But now this recorder just became way more versatile because in regards to timecode, as long as you have a timecode device that supports linear timecode over a headphone jack, it will work with this recorder, and that is so wonderful to see. Heck, don't just take my word for it. Take the word of a bona fide timecode expert.
So I just wanted to give it my firm stamp of approval. This Tascam bad boy is a beast. You can jam sync timecode from any timecode generator. This means you can use it with a Tentacle. You can use it with a Deity. This is real timecode. You can jam sync timecode also wirelessly with the Atomos UltraSync Blue. So if you already invested in the Atomos ecosystem, this works with it wirelessly. This thing is a game changer. The best part is you can do wireless XLR boom audio. This is what we call boom and zoom, people. You see me running around getting sound bites? Now you can do that with 32-bit flow into your shotgun microphone. This is next level, and it jam syncs, it's timecode, it's all the things. Let's go.
Now, all of these new fancy features on the FR-AV2 wouldn't matter if the audio quality wasn't good, but I'm also happy to tell you that in my testing, the audio quality from this small device is very good. And as an audio test, if you're wondering about the quality, I've actually been recording this entire video using a Deity S-Mic 2 right up here, plugged into the FR-AV2 down the wire right up here to it. So if you like how the audio in this video sounds, I think that you're going to be really happy with this recorder. It's been working great. In addition, because we are not quite done talking about the features yet, while this recorder does support 32-bit float up to 192 kilohertz, I want you to know that you can also turn the bit depth down to 24-bit if you want, but I would not recommend it because 32-bit float gives you so much more versatility in post. If your audio is too quiet, you can bring up the levels, and if it's too loud, you can bring them down without ruining your audio. I love 32-bit float, okay? Just use that. In addition, because you may be a bit confused by this, I know that I was whenever I first started using the FR-AV2, notice that there is no hold switch anywhere on the recorder that will disable the buttons whenever it's recording. This made me a bit nervous because in other recorders, they almost have it integrated into the power button where if you flip it up, then it's going to hold and the audio buttons are protected. But I have good news, because if you go into the record setting of the recorder, you're going to notice that there is a record hold setting, which means that whenever you start the recorder recording, it's going to disable the record button. And if you actually want to stop recording, you actually have to hold down the much harder to press home button down here in the middle. It's a bit more recessed to actually stop the recorder from recording. Please be aware though that while you can't stop the recording while it's going, you can still use the F1 through F4 function buttons here to adjust some of the settings on the recorder, like turning on or off phantom power, etc., while the recorder is recording. And that does make me a little bit nervous, because someone could go in and mess with something like phantom power, which could ruin the recording. But also, if someone wanted to ruin your recording, they could also just pop the batteries out of the back of the recorder. So I don't think this lack of a dedicated hold switch is a big deal, and it's still nice to be able to know that if you start mashing these buttons and it's recording, it's probably not going to mess up anything. So at a price of $399 at the time of making this video, especially considering that you're getting such a compact device that still has dual XLR 1/4-inch combo jacks, excellent audio quality, and even more versatile timecode capabilities with the addition of timecode in and out ports, as well as Bluetooth control and wireless monitoring and wireless timecode if you want that too. The FR-AV2 is a full-featured and extremely well thought out audio recorder, and the only thing that would give me pause about it is if you needed a recorder with a microphone built in, like the X8 or X6. Keep in mind that this recorder doesn't have a built-in microphone, and so you're gonna have to supply your own mic if you want to use it. But hey, if you were planning on doing that anyways, just get the FR-AV2. It checks all the boxes you'll need, and then some. Also, in regards to the price, from what I've seen, Tascam loves to release a product at a certain price, and then pretty soon after that, they're going to drop the price significantly. Just look at how the Tascam X8 launched for $500, and now you can currently find it available for $370. Or how the DR10L Pro launched for $220, but you can now get it for $150. My point is that Tascam is not afraid to be very competitive with their pricing, and I'm sure they're aware of Zoom currently charging $300 for their F3 recorder. So I say all that to say, don't just take my word for it that the price is $399. Take the time to use the links down in the video description to check the updated FR-AV2 prices for yourself and see if it has changed. You may be pleasantly surprised, especially if you're watching this video in the weeks and months after I've made it. Speaking of being pleasantly surprised, I would love to help you be pleasantly surprised with making more bookings for your wedding videography business. And to do that, I've put together a free workshop that's going to help you book your next wedding in 30 days or less. Even if you've never filmed a wedding before and you've been considering getting into wedding filmmaking, this workshop is going to be extremely helpful to you, and I would highly recommend checking it out. I will link to it down in the video description. Don't forget, my audio cables that I made with Condor Blue are also linked down in the video description too. They work great with this audio recorder. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.